Ugh, legs are hard. Oh, guys, have you been dealing with a wrist sprain? Let me show you some of the best exercises to rehab it today. Prehabbers, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining us today. Dr. Lauren Linus, and today let's talk wrist sprains. So a lot of us have had wrist sprains. Maybe you got yours from falling off a skateboard. Maybe it was a razor scooter. Maybe you were like me and you were running late to work and tripped going up the stairs. Well, today I want to show you some of our favorite exercises to help to get over that wrist sprain. So let's get started. To begin with, we want to make sure that we're working on motion through the wrist. A lot of times after a wrist sprain, we have swelling in the joint. It feels really stiff. Maybe you still have a significant amount of pain. Now, I want to note that swelling, inflammation, some pain, that's normal right after an acute injury. If you want to learn more about acute injuries and how to best manage them, go ahead and check out our awesome blog here. But we do want to encourage healthy motion in the joint, right? Research shows that getting the joint moving appropriately is actually one of the best ways to speed up the healing process. So a really great exercise to do is have your hands out in front of you. Let's say it was my left wrist that I sprained. I want to take my right hand and I want my arm straight, and I'm gently going to use my right hand to kind of control my wrist in circles, okay? Now this is passive range of motion of the wrist. This can be done if maybe you're having a lot of pain, it's still pretty inflamed and stiff. Okay, I can use that right hand to really control the motion. Now let's say you're doing this and you're like, Lauren, it feels pretty dang good. You can actually do this with just your own muscles, okay? Really, really good way to work on encouraging healthy blood flow in the joints, controlling that swelling, getting that, restoring that motion, okay, back in the joint. And I encourage people, try a few of these every hour, 10 to 15, just to get healthy blood flow in there. Okay, let's say that's feeling pretty good. Another good exercise you can do to help to improve motion, especially if you're having discomfort into extension, okay, bringing that wrist up, hands on the edge of a couch, maybe it's a table, maybe it's a counter, and then I'm actually going to use my body to come forward to work on mobilizing that joint. So I'm coming forward here. Maybe I get a little stretch, maybe I get a little pinch. If you get a little pinch, that's okay. Stop right there, come on back, okay? I'd encourage you to pause for about 5 to 10 seconds. Get some good mobility in through that wrist. And again, this is a good way to help to encourage blood flow, get some of that swelling out of there if you're having a lot of stiffness, and just encourage restoring that normal range of motion. Okay, and this is another good one to perform every hour. You can shoot for about 5 to 10. Should feel comfortable, but this is a progression from those range of motion exercises I just showed you. Awesome. Okay, from here, as things improve, that motion improves, you want to start building strength back into the joint. So you can rest your hands right on the edge of the couch. Okay, the great thing about this exercise is that we can work on building strength through a bunch of different ranges of motion. So I'm actually going to start with less range of motion. Let's say I'm still kind of achy. I've got maybe just a little pain and discomfort. If I start here and I have no pain, then this is a good starting point for me. So I'm going to bring my wrist up into what we call wrist extension. I'm going to take my right hand again and I'm going to apply pressure. Now, great thing about this exercise is I'm in control of how much pressure I apply. If I push really hard and I get a lot of pain, too much, right? Back off a little bit. But you're gonna come up, you're gonna hold. Goal is for about 45 seconds, and I want you to try about 5 to 7 of these, and then relax. Now, cool thing about this exercise, as I mentioned, is if I have no pain here, maybe I bring my wrist up a little bit and then do the same thing. So I'm pushing here, right? 45 seconds or so, and then you're gonna relax, okay? You're gonna shoot for, as I said, 5 to 7 of these, and you can kind of work through different motions here. You also wanna work on wrist flexion, so same idea. I flip my wrist over, now I'm coming up into flexion. I can take my right hand and I can gently push. 45 seconds, try about 5 to 7 of them, and then relax, and I can work through different motions there, okay? So now we're starting to build up that strength again in through the wrists. Something we also wanna work on when we have a wrist strain is just keeping those shoulders nice and strong and healthy. And I really like this exercise because we're also gonna work on some wrist strength too. So if you've got a band at home, I want you to slide it around your wrist. So see how it's kind of on the back of my palms. I don't want it down on your forearms because we wanna actually work those wrist muscles a little bit. So around the back of my palms here, arms are straight. I want to pull against the band gently, and then I'm going to turn the band over. So we're working shoulder muscles here, okay, but we're also working those wrist stabilizers as well, especially those extensors. This is a good way, again, to start loading those muscles and tendons again after a wrist sprain. Okay, and you can shoot for about 15 to 20. You'll feel a little bit of a tug in the shoulders as you're working those muscles too. So really important to remember that we want to also continue to work upper extremity strength and do what you can tolerate following a wrist sprain. okay? Whew, okay, my shoulders are tired. All right, guys, well, I gotta get back to work, and I also gotta do my exercises for my wrist sprain. But if you are loving what you're seeing, we'd love for you to drop a subscribe, go ahead, comment. Maybe there's other videos that you want us to touch on or topics that you want us to make a video on. Please comment below. We're always looking for ideas and wanna make sure we are helping you guys. We are here for you, and we wanna put health in your hands. So drop a subscribe, and we plan to see you guys next week.